In video number 27, we're going to be multiplying and dividing decimals with negatives. What I'd like you to do is take out your homework from last night, which is your homework sheet, which is video 27. Okay. We're going to do 4 problems together, and then you have 4 problems, or excuse me, 6 problems at the bottom. Let's take a look at number 1. We're multiplying a negative 4.8 times 0.1. When we do this, we got to make sure that we get the sign correct. That's one of the more important things. So a negative times a positive, our sign is going to be a negative. And those are from our integer rules from beginning of the videos here. Right, now, when we multiply, we're going to stack them. And I like to stack it so that the decimal that has more numbers, more non-zero numbers, I like to put that on top. It just makes it appear and look easier to solve than if I stack it the other way. This is something that I prefer. So let's, after we make a sign decision, then we can forget about our signs for the rest of the problem. So let me show you what I mean by when I said how I like to stack it. So I like to stack it as 4.8 times 0.1. That looks better to me than if I stacked it as 0.1 times 4.8. For some reason, that just looks confusing to me. Okay? So after we stack it, then we go ahead and just do our multiplication. 1 times 8 is 8, and 1 times 4 is 4. Now, the key here is to know where to put the decimal point in your answer. Well, we count the number of decimal places in our two numbers that we're multiplying. So here we have 1 place, and here we have 1 place after the decimal point. So we need to move this decimal point 2 places to the left. Okay, so we start here, we go 1, 2. So it's going to be 0.48. Now, you can leave it as 0.48, or you can write it as 0.48. That is fine. Okay? Now, we also have to put on our sign because we ignored it when we were doing the problem. So then put on your sign. So our final answer is negative 0.48, or 400, negative 400, excuse me, negative 48 hundredths. Let's look at number 2. We have our negative times a negative, so we know our answer is going to be a positive. Now we're going to stack it. Okay? Now, we have three non-zero digits. So I guess I just kind of like to put after we drop the signs, okay, I would put like 11.7 times 6.82. Okay? So now we just go ahead and multiply like we normally do. 2 times 7 is 14, carry our 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Okay? To that, we're going to add, and we're going to multiply by 8. So we're moving 1 place value over, so we're going to put that place value over. And then 8 times 7 is 56. Mark out, put your 5 up there. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 is 13. Okay? Put your 1 up here. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Okay? And then we're going to multiply by 6. So that's moving 1, 2 place values over. So I got to get 1, 2. See how I'm keeping everything in line here? 6 times 7 is 42. So put my 2 down, mark out, put my 4 up here. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. So put my 0 down, mark out, and put my 1 up. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and add these 3 numbers together. So this will give me 4, this will give me 9, 2, 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7, 9 and 0 is 9, and then 7. Okay, so now we've done all the multiplication. Now we just need to place our sign, or excuse me, our decimal. Okay, Now it's not like addition, we just don't move it straight down. We got to figure out where it goes. We have one place value here and two place values here. So 1 plus 2, that's a total of 3 place values. So I need to move my decimal point. Okay, 3 place values over 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to place it between this 9 and this 7. So my final answer, okay, check the sign, it's going to be plus. So my final answer is 79 and 794 thousandths. Let's look here at number 3. Number 3, we're starting division. First thing we do is figure out our sign. Positive divided by negative, we know our sign is negative. Now we can forget about our signs for the rest of the problem. We're going to set it up. We're dividing 34.1 by negative 5.5. Okay? What we can do is get rid of our decimals. Okay? So you can move this decimal one place to the right and this one place to the right. It's essentially we're going to be multiplying both the dividend and divisor by 10. Okay, since we're doing both by 10, it keeps everything balanced. So underneath our divisor, our quotient sign, okay, we're going to put 341 in as our divisor. Okay, and then over here we're going to put in 55. So we just changed our decimal division problem into a whole number division problem. So we got to figure out how many times 55 goes into 341. Well, 50 times 6 is 300. So 6 looks like a good place for me to start. So I'm going to multiply by 6. I get 0, carry my 3, and this will be 330. Pretty close with that. Then we'll put the 6 above the 1, because I took it into the last the number of 341. I'm going to subtract 330. That's going to give me 111. Okay. Now to continue my division, I'm not going to. I no longer do 6 remainder and 11. Okay. Now that doesn't work now in pre-algebra. What we're going to do is continue our division problem by putting a decimal and a 0. Okay. Remember, 341 is equal to 341.0. Okay, and I can put as many zeros on here as I want to continue my division problem. So we put that 0 on, okay, and so before we can divide, we got to bring down. Remember, 0 comes down. Now 55 goes into 110. We can see that that goes twice. Okay, here we move the decimal point up. So put the decimal point in, and then put your 2, and then subtract out to get 0. So, okay, our answer so far is 6.2. Now, check our sign and put our sign on our problem. And make sure you always check your sign when you finish. We want to get away from making sign errors. Let's look at number 4. Okay, again, a negative divided by a positive, my answer, the final answer is going to be a negative number. Okay, I got to figure out how many place values I need to move. Well, here I can make this a whole number by multiplying by 100. Okay, so over here I can multiply by 100. Okay, but what you really want to do is mainly focus on the dividend, right? The number that you're dividing by. Okay, so let me show you here what I mean by that. We really want to focus on that and make this a whole number. This can stay as a decimal. It doesn't really change anything. We make this a whole number or not. So what we really want to do is change this into a whole number. So we only have to really multiply by 10. Okay? So this will become negative 6.3. Just move it one place. This will become 7. So my new problem is 6.3 divided, negative 6.3 divided by 7. So that's how I'm going to set it up. 7 going into 6.3 because I've dropped my sign. I don't need my sign anymore because I know my answer is going to be negative when I finish. Okay. Well, 7 can't go into 6, so if I want to, I can put my 0 there and bring up my decimal point. Now 7 goes into 63 9 times. So subtract 63 out, and we get 0. Okay, and then put your sign on. So my final answer is negative 9 tenths. Okay. Now what I like you to do is pause the video and complete the 6 problems there at the bottom. Once you're finished, unpause the video and go ahead and check your answers. If you have questions, write those down and bring those to class, and I'll gladly answer those for you tomorrow. Okay? So now that you've unpaused the video, I'm going to bring up the answers so you can check your work. There are the answers for 7 through 12. Okay? Check that work. Okay. Thank you for doing your homework tonight, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.